Digital resources are still selling really well on Teachers Pay Teachers. And by digital, I mean those resources that can be used in Google Classroom or with Microsoft Teams. And I want to talk to you about how to actually upload those digital resources. I'm specifically going to be talking about Google in this episode, how to upload those to Teachers Pay Teachers the correct way, because I get this question a lot. So I am starting here in my Teachers Pay Teacher store, and I'm looking at one of my resources that I offer as printable and digital. So technically they are all digital downloads because you are not mailing teachers a printed copy of this, right? So I do feel like these words get a little bit confusing. Which one am I talking about? They are all digital downloads. But when I say a digital activity, what I mean is you can use that activity with Google Classroom or with Microsoft Teams. So typically when I am uploading a digital resource, I will upload the digital version and the printable version together. But if you just wanted to upload the digital version, the Google version, when you go to add a resource and you go to your little storefront, add new product, you are going to see an option that says select a file from your Google Drive. I do not recommend doing that because when you do that and a teacher purchases that file, Teachers Pay Teachers is going to ask them for access, and I'm doing quotes here, access to their Google Drive to put that Google resource into their Google Drive. Well, when teachers see that, they're going to be like, I don't want to give Teachers Pay Teachers access to my whole Google Drive. And that's really not what's happening. They just want access to be able to add whatever Google activity they just purchased into their Google Drive. So I have seen that a lot where teachers are a little bit scared of doing that. I also see just some tech issues with that. So what I personally do is I create a PDF of instructions and I put the link to the activity inside those instructions. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean here. So let me just go back to my resource here. So I'm going to download this. So let's say a teacher purchases my congruent triangles, printable and digital activity. It's going to be a zip file because I have zipped the file. I'll show you how to do all of this, but I just want to show you what the buyer is going to see. So they're going to unzip it. They can double click it, or if they are on a Windows, they extract the files. And inside, they're going to see 4 different things. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. So they are going to have the printable version. So this is what they would print out and laminate and give to students. I also have an answer key file. I like to keep it separate. Sometimes, not all the time. It depends on the activity. They're going to see my terms of use in a separate file, and then they're going to see what's called digital version. And this is a template that I use. And it has instructions for how teachers can use this file in Google Classroom. Now, we actually have this for you as a freebie. So if you go to the show notes or the caption of this video, you're going to be able to sign up for my email list and get this as a freebie so that you don't have to recreate this template. Then what they do is they're going to click where it says click here to open the file. And it's going to open what's called a force copy link. And I'm going to show you how to do that. They're going to click make a copy, and then they will have their own copy of this for their students, and they can assign this to their students in Google Classroom. And this particular activity was created in Google Slides. So that's how I upload my Google resources to Teachers Pay Teachers. If I were not going to be bundling a digital and a printable together and I just wanted to upload a digital, then I would just have this. I would just have a PDF with the instructions and the force copy link, and I would upload that PDF into where it says add new product. Digital download is the one I would select, and I would upload the PDF here, and that PDF inside of there has that force copy link. So let's talk about force copy links and the different types of Google activities you can create. So there are 3 main programs inside of Google that you are going to be using to create activities. The first one is Google Forms. So I like to use these for digital quizzes, or if it's like a task card activity, I can upload a picture of the task card and have multiple choice. So this is an example of mine. I'm actually going to show you guys 2 versions because in the summer of 2025, Google updated the way Google Forms can be shared. So this is the old version. In the summer of 2025, they started something called granular control. So I'll show you that in a second. So if you have Google Forms that are older than summer of 2025, I believe it was late June when they did this, then this would be how you do it. And I'm not going to upgrade this because whatever I have in TPT is working and I don't want to have to go back and mess with any of those links. So with the old version, you would click the three dots and click add collaborators. And you want anyone with the link. And it looks like I can't change it to anything other than edit. Done. And then on the actual URL here at the top in your browser, I'm going to backspace and I'm going to change that edit to copy. And I'm going to copy that. That is the link that I'm going to put here in this PDF. Also, be careful. Don't flatten the PDF or it won't save the clickable link. Unless you have something like, there are certain programs where you can click certain links that you don't want to flatten, like Flatpak can do that. But just be careful with that. Make sure before you upload it, you make sure that the link works because that is the whole activity. If teachers click it and nothing happens, they're going to get upset. So then when they click on that, it's going to give them that forced copy link. So that is the old way. The new way, this is a new Google form. I just made this today. Is let me just start again from scratch. So blank form, if you're making a brand new activity, I'm just going to call this test. You would add your questions here. I actually show how to make all of these types of activities and give you templates inside my program Teacher Resource Academy. So if you want information on that and you want to know how to actually sell these activities, head to lindsaybowden.com/training. Okay, so once you get all of your questions, then you would publish it. In responders, you don't want it to just be, let's see. We want it to be anyone with a link. Anyone with a link can respond. Okay. Publish. And then what you can do is you can click this little plus button and you can have anyone with the link can edit. That way, when teachers get it, you can call it an editable resource and they can change the questions if they need to. And it looks like you can't even have anyone with the link can view anymore with forms. That's why you want to give them a force copy link. And then they can adjust this here. Now, one thing I want to stop and say is with any of your activities, this is what I do. So I have all of mine organized in Google Drive. I have all of my Google Forms and all of my Google Slides. Then I always make copies of all of those and have my own original copy that I don't make force copy links of. So I have the links that I'm giving on TPT, but then I make a copy of those activities and I store them in a file that I never touch, just in case there are ways that people can go in and edit your original if they figure that out. Like if they were to change this link back to, that copy link back to edit, it could mess with your original. I have had that happen. And so you would always have your own copy that you can go in and make a new copy, and that would be the force copy link that you use. So always have your own copies that you're not making force copy links of in case that happens. So forms are a little bit weird now. My favorite is Google Slides, which is similar to PowerPoint, which I create on. So with Google Slides, it's usually like a drag and drop type of activity. So what I have done here, and again, I show this in my program, I have created these in PowerPoint, and then I save each slide of my PowerPoint as an image, and then I upload those images as the background of these Google Slides. So you can choose an image to upload as the background. And then I have these little drag and drop pieces. And again, I show how to make these drag and drops in my program, Teacher Resource Academy. But after I have all of this set up, then I would share it. Anyone with the link can view, copy. And it's okay to have anyone with the link can view, because then once I click copy, they're going to get their own. This is what they would get, and they could put this link into Google Classroom to share with their students. So these are still movable even when it says anyone with the link can view, but they're not going to be able to edit your original. All right, so that's Google Slides. Then with Google Sheets, if you're doing like a self-checking activity, like a mystery puzzle like you see here, this is actually one of the templates that is inside Teacher Resource Academy. So you could put images here, and as students type in the correct answer, images would pop up to make a picture. It's really cool. So one thing that you can do to be a little bit more safe with your Google Sheets is you can go to Data, Protect Sheets and Ranges. Actually, I'm going to select everything. So select the white rectangle, Data, Protect Sheets and Ranges, set permission. All right. And then you can share it. Anyone with the link can view, copy link. And then you would again change edit and everything after it to copy, and then they're going to get their own copy. That way they don't have edit access to this, so they can't like make their own and resell it. But it looks like now with Google Forms, they can edit it the way that it is set up. They can edit it. And that does make sense because they might want to change the settings for the quiz part. Like if they want to make it a quiz, if they want to see different responses, they do have edit access. But with slides and with sheets, you can make it so they do not. And with all three of those, that forced copy link is what goes inside of this template that you guys can grab in the description below. So hopefully that helps you with the 3 types of Google activities. Maybe I'll do a whole nother episode on Microsoft activities because they can be a little bit different. But I will say Google activities seem to be the biggest seller, at least for me, on Teachers Pay Teachers. So if you're uploading them the right way, you should be good. My number one takeaway from this episode is to have your own original copies in Google Drive and always make a copy of that copy to then make a forced copy link. Never make a forced copy link of your original, just in case someone knows how to change copy back to edit and they edit your original and then you have to remake it from scratch. I've had to do that and it is super, super frustrating. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.